Hello Legacy Sabers. So this is Marsh via computer just because I am gone for your class. So what I wanted to do is talk through all kinds of factoring. So we've gone through all kinds of factoring in this class that you would ever imagine to see. And a lot of students I find have issues trying to figure out which method should I use. What can I do based on the problem that is sitting there. So what we're actually going to do is talk through this flow chart that you have in front of you. You might want to grab it out here. So this flow chart, guys, I find for a lot of students helps them understand which method should they use. Okay? So we're going to start at the top here. And we're going to look and see, does the expression or equation have a common factor? AKA, can we take out an x? Can we divide out a 2? That kind of thing. If that's the case, you would follow your yes, and you would say you can factor out and set it outside the parentheses. If not, or even if you did, then you look and see how many pieces there are. So if there's 2, 3, or 4, that means you're going to follow those basic branches. So if there's 4 pieces, you're going to use factor by grouping. That's box immediately. So if you want to put that around on there, just say that it's box by all means. If there's 3 pieces, that's the AC method. So that's when we identified A, B, C, multiplied A times C, that kind of stuff. And if there's 2 pieces present, then you have a couple of questions to answer. Is there subtraction present? Are the 2 pieces perfect squares, aka are they 9? Is it 6 or 16, like that? If it is, then use the difference of perfect squares. That's that special cases that we were looking at yesterday, okay? And then, if that is not case, then you have something that's not factorable, okay? So what I'm going to do is a couple of examples from the worksheet that you have in front of you. Number 2, I'm going to do first. So I'm going to use my flow chart to figure out which method should I use. So, does the expression equation have a common factor? Let's look. 18x to the 4th and 27x to the 3rd. Does it have a common factor? 18 and 27, they have 9 in common. And then it looks like they both have an x cubed in common as well. So I will divide out or pull out a 9x cubed. So if I divide that away, I'll have 2x left behind right here. And 3, like that. Okay, so I did that, factored it out. How many pieces? Well, there originally was 2 pieces, so 2. Is there subtraction? Nope. Not factorable. So this is my final answer for number 2. 9x cubed times the quantity of 2x plus 3. Let's take a look at number 7 now. So, very first thing, is there a common factor? Is there a GCF of 4, 8, 3, and 6? No. No numbers go in there. So we're going to go immediately to know how many pieces are there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So we got to use factor by grouping, aka the box, right away. So let's go ahead and put those 4 pieces inside the box. Okay. Remember, out here is the GCF of this particular row, which looks like it's 4 and then x squared, right? GCF of this column, 4 and 3 don't share anything, so that's just a 1, but they do share an x. Excuse me, guys. Alright. What do we got in common here? They got a 3, right? This one doesn't have a negative, so let's be careful and not put the negative. These guys both have a negative 2 in common, though. Let's check my multiplication. 1x times 4x squared, that is 4x cubed. 4x squared times negative 2 is negative 8x squared. 1x times 3 is 3x, and 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. So my answer, x minus 2, 4x squared plus 3. Just like that. Alright. Let's look at number 10 as well on your worksheet. So that is 4x squared plus 44x plus 120. So now, guys, let's start at the top. Does the expression equation have a common factor? 4, 44, 120. 4 comes out, right? You can divide a 4 by all of those. So let's take out that 4, factor it out. So I'll have x squared plus 11x plus 30, right? 120 divided by 4? Yeah, that's 30. Okay, so we factored it out. Let's go over here. How many pieces are there? So there is 1, 2, 3 pieces. 3. Let's use the AC method of factoring. So A, B, C. So my A is 1, B is 11, C is 30. So my A times my C is 30. What numbers multiply to give us 30 but add together to give us 11? Well, we would have 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10. What about 5 and 6? That makes 11, right? So I can rewrite x squared plus 5x plus 6x plus 30. Box that. So I got x squared, 5x, 6x, and 30. So x. Looks like there's a GCF of 6 of that row and a GCF of 5. So my final answer would be 4, x plus 5, x plus 6 for the final answer of number 10. Alright, let's look at the first number 13, and yes, Marsh realizes she could not count at all on this worksheet. Okay, so we're going to look at 25x squared minus 81. So, is there a common factor? Nope, nothing good. So, no. How many pieces are there? There are 2 pieces right here. Is there subtraction present? Right there, yep. Are there 2 pieces perfect squares? Is 25 a perfect square? Yep. Is 81? Yep. Difference of perfect squares, special cases. So remember, guys, that's when we got to go like this. And one had a plus in the middle, one had a minus in the middle. It's what we did yesterday. 25x squared, that would be square root of 25x, 5x, sitting in the front. Square root of 81, 9. 5x plus 9, 5x minus 9. And the final one, number 17. So, 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. Is there a common factor? Nope. How many pieces? 3. AC method. So we got A, B, C. 2, -3, -2. A times by C is -4. Numbers that make -4. I think a -4 and a +1 will give me that -3 when I add, right? So I will get 2x squared minus 4x plus 1x minus 2. That's me expanding that middle term, right? Because this is just -3x. I just expanded it. Let's go ahead and box it now because I got 4 terms. There we go. Looks like this row we have a 2x, 1x, -2, and 1, right? So my answer would be x minus 2 or 1x minus 2, depending on how you want to write that, times 2x plus 1. Alright, what I would like you to do now is to complete the rest of the worksheet as the ones that we didn't do. Come back with any questions tomorrow that you have on some of the questions. We'll go over a couple of examples. My sub also has the answer key to this particular worksheet, so you could definitely check it with them to make sure that you are getting it correct. But until tomorrow, see you later, Sabers.